Hey, what up, guys? Welcome to Mount Fitness MBS Ministry, where I am your host, Brother Minister Mongoose, and where this ministry is living and promoting a holistic mind, body, and spirit path to health and wellness and to life overall, while simultaneously putting a premium emphasis on the group of people that the Bible refers to as the have-nots. Now, I try to mention it every time, but I'm not always successful in that regards, but we're talking about the have-nots all across the board, guys. And we're all amongst this group to some extent or another in one area of life or another. None of us is perfect. So there's something that either we're lacking in its entirety or we could certainly afford to have more of. So it's the have-nots all across the board, starting with, but not limited to, those that are lacking when it comes to finances, equal opportunity, education, fairness, justice, housing, but also those who are lacking or amongst the have-nots when it comes to those that are emotionally hurting, those that are physically hurting and or disabled, those that are disfranchised when it comes to emotional health and wellness, peace, love, joy, direction, focus, purpose in life. Anything that you can imagine that, hey, a human being should have that, should have access to that, fair and equal access to that. A human being should be able to experience that on their journey. And if a person or a group of people don't have that, then those are the people that we're referring to. And again, we're all have-nots in some way or another. So if that sounds like you and or if that message resonates with you, either way, I say to you, welcome home. I thank you guys so very much for your love, your support, and your generosity. I do provide some services that are designed to help strengthen, nourish, and revitalize the mentality, the physicality, and the spirituality of all human beings whose hearts are in the right place. Again, starting with a triage type of approach, starting with those who are hurting the most. Having said that, guys, I want to take a brief second to just mention, a thought that I had when it comes to the messages, the information, the different perspectives, the words of encouragement. What this ministry is all about, the work that I do. Let me just say to you guys, I hope I'm bringing you guys something that's beneficial to you. And I know that to some extent, I like to think that it's beneficial. Other than that, then you wouldn't be subscribed. You wouldn't be watching. But I'm doing my best. And if there's something that, you guys would like clarity on, a message that I present, or if there's a subject matter that you would like my 2 cents on, or whatever the case may be, let me know, guys. If there's anything I can do to improve the quality of the video, whatever the case may be, my job is to service or to be of service to the creation by way of being service to the creation. So I really do mean that, guys. Thanks again for your love, your support, and your generosity, all that good stuff. And we'll get off into today's message because, as you know, this is some shaky times that we're going through. We all know that. Some people have turned a blind eye to it. Some people have taken the approach, it just is what it is. I might as well get all I can get and hate all I can hate and party all I can party, and because there's no tomorrow. So why try to improve? A lot of people have succumbed to that type of mindset and heart set, but yet here you stand. You stand in defiance of all of that. No matter what happens, you're still holding on to faith, to love, to good old-fashioned dignity, integrity, modesty, courage, all these things. So to you, and those like you and I, it's a very rocky road right now because we're up against a society. We're up against a people and a prophesied time. Not that we're up against that prophesied time, but we're living within this prophesied times where all of this madness, this deceitfulness, this ugliness is par for the course in terms of Bible prophecy and prophecy of all the other religions as well. It's par for the course, but yet simultaneously being part, or something else that's simultaneously par for the course, is that which rises from the ashes of the fallen kingdom, if you will, the fallen government. Govern your mental. So all the things that we've been taught, the ways we've been indoctrinated into this matrix, those things are falling and crumbling right before our eyes. And it's up to people like you and me to represent that which rises from the ashes. What rises from the ashes when he returns to establish his kingdom? Remember, he's not establishing his kingdom off in the airy fairy land. He establishes his kingdom right here on earth. So when he returns to establish his kingdom on earth, we know that, his love is what sets the agenda, the itinerary. But walking right hand in hand with that love is good old-fashioned peace. Good old-fashioned peace. Now, I posted a video, a message the other day. Maybe it was yesterday. And the title of that message is, Let Peace Be Your Weapon of Choice. Now, if you haven't watched that, please check that out. Today's message is seguitive, where it kind of walks hand in hand with that message there. But that message does, in fact, set the table. And again, it's titled, Let Peace Be Your Weapon of Choice. In that video, I have weapon in all caps. And in that message, I talked about some of the things that I'm going to go a little bit deeper into when it comes to today's message. I talked about the fact that the reason why peace is a weapon and why weapon is in all caps, because that's what it is. That's what peace is. It's a weapon. Every time you show up with peace, you notice how it irritates people, it agitates people. People begin to become mean, deceptive, manipulative, disrespectful, disingenuous, trying to get you to pretend that you can't sense that they really despise you because you carry peace. They want you to turn a blind eye and pretend you don't know that. And so they come with the fake smiles, the fake conversations, the fake compliments, whatever. And you can see right through that because your peace is real. And so when you stand, hard hat on, mouthpiece in, boots laced up, and 10 toes down, and say, hey, listen, I appreciate the courtesy. Here's a courtesy right back. Here's a exchange of what we would call pleasantries right back. Okay, great. But I can't associate with you. I can't affiliate with you because it's all disingenuous on their part. When you stand on that, then people go over the top with their attacks, with their prejudgments, with their anger, with their frustration, and all the other things that people do. So that's why peace is is a weapon, and weapon is in all caps. We're called to do battle. Make no mistake about it. You can go to the Bible, the Quran, Hinduism, Buddhism, and so forth and so on. It all talks about standing up in one way or the other, standing up, asserting what's good, what's loving, what's kind, what's peaceful, asserting that against that which would attempt to oppose that. So we're called to do battle. And peace is a weapon in that battle. We're going to be talking about very briefly about what this means. What does this look like? Peace as a weapon? How can this be? Peace, genuine, wholehearted, organic, no additives, no preservatives, peace. One of the things that it means is it's wholehearted. It's not fake. You can't, this ain't no fake peace. Fake peace, when you really, really have peace, a peace that can only come from on high, doesn't mean you don't have any problems, don't have any headaches, any shortcomings, any flaws. You have all of that. We all do. But you refuse to surrender to that. And you are able to have peace in the eye of the storm. You're able to have a peace that transcends all human understanding. People can't imagine it. They want that peace, but they don't want to put that hard work. They don't want to, what we call, surrender themselves to this thing called God, make amends with the fact that they have flaws, they have shortcomings, they need to work on themselves. They don't want to do that, but they want to attach themselves to your energy. Nope, we're not having that. There's too many people out there that's hurting, that's true, that's loving, that's genuine, that need that real organic peace. We don't have time to be sharing that with fakers. So that true organic peace is what we're talking about. And what it means is not walking around with no airy-fairy, Pollyannic, rainbows and unicorns, everything's kumbaya. It's not that. It's not that fake peace. It means being in the eye of the storm, dealing with the storm, but not surrendering to the storm. It means not stepping down to the levels of the kings and queens of chaos, to the disciples of darkness, to the rudeness, to the toxicity, the disingenuousness. It means not returning narcissistic conduct with narcissistic conduct. It doesn't mean faking it. You can't fake it. When you have true peace, you're able to recognize that fake peace in others. That disingenuous smile, I don't care if it's spread from one ear to the ear. You can read it a lot more immediately than instantaneously. You can read it. That smile never reaches their eyes. It never reaches their spirit or their soul. It never presents itself in their energy. That compliment, same thing. That aid and assistance, same thing. You're able to discern. It's disingenuous. It's like helping an old lady across the street so that you can lead her right into the alley and mug her. When you have true peace, you can sense that, well, this person is hurting, but they genuinely would value and appreciate a smile, a kind word, some aid and assistance, some prayer, whatever it is. You can sense that. These are the people that we're here for. This is not a peace, by the way, as we continue to get into this lesson about what does this look like? Peace as a weapon. This isn't that passive, docile, submissive type of peace. Oh, no, 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 no. This is that true peace. That doesn't mean you're passive. It doesn't mean you're submissive. Meekness, and that's who we are. That's what we're called to be. We still got to work on it. Again, we're living in a world where we're going to make mistakes. He's going to give us grace for those mistakes. He's looking at our heart and seeing if we're genuinely trying to get it all figured out. But we have been taught that being peaceful means you should be docile. You should be passive. You should be submissive. That's not what peace means. That's not who Christ was. There's more than a couple Bible quotes and biblical instances where Christ stood up and said, hey, enough is enough. Basically, if you want to get, down to the nitty gritty of it, basically, I'll stump your head into the floor right here, right now. Christ was a revolutionary. Christ was strong-willed. He was stoic. He was a rebel. Just as much as he was loving, kind, compassionate, forgiving, merciful, and peaceful. He was the heads and the tails to the coin. And so must you be. It's not about walking around here thinking, well, Minister Mongoose or the Bible or the Quran or whatever says, walk in peace. So people just run all over me. They disrespect me, I got to turn the other cheek. That's not what that means. Turn the other cheek mean, hey, you get down wrong. You cross the uncrossable line, I'm going to let you know in a very serious way. And then I'm going to go right back to loving you, or we go our separate ways, no hostility. I don't care, I'm grudge free. That's what it means. It don't mean smack me and I'm just going to sit there and let you continue to smack me. Oh, no. If that's the case, the Bible would never have told us to put on the whole armor of the Lord. Now, I got to begin to speed this up, guys. I'm at 20 minutes already. So don't be confused. Peace is a weapon. It doesn't mean being passive and docile and submissive. Neither does it mean using that peace in an arrogant way, in a toxic way. Doesn't mean that either. Doesn't mean rubbing people's nose in it like, yeah, I found my way out the matrix and might be bugs on the rest of you mugs, but it ain't no bugs on me. And so now I'm just going to walk around, inconsiderate, discompassionate and all these different things. No, it doesn't mean that either. In a nutshell, it just means maintaining and sustaining a high frequency regardless of what the situation and circumstances look like. If you have to confront somebody, you check them, you enforce that boundary, and you get right back to that high level. You don't fall into the back and forth. It's like, hey, dude, look, man, what are we doing? Hey, ma'am, I don't mean to be rude, but can you stop that? Whatever the case may be. And if it requires more, then it requires more. But either way, it means maintaining that peace. Not faking it, not ignoring the storm, Not pretending the storm doesn't exist and, we're just going to all hold hands and sing Kumbaya. No, it doesn't mean that either. And again, it doesn't mean being arrogant. It doesn't mean being dismissive of others and disconsiderate of their hurt, their pain, their confusion. It means being discerning to know that what you carry is just that precious. It's just that rare. You wouldn't walk around. I don't care how much money you have. You wouldn't just walk around everybody you see. Just, hey, here's $100, here's $500, here's $1,000, here's 30, whatever. Every single person you see. No. Because that money is precious. I don't care how much you have. You just can't throw it out there willy-nilly style. And that money is a piece of paper. So then how much more precious is the peace that you have been blessed to carry? There's it means understanding that there is an enormous responsibility, a divine responsibility that you and I have to be discerning when it comes to understanding that peace is precious, it's rare. And we can't just give it out willy-nilly style. We have to be discerning. It means understanding that you may be the only person in that workplace, in that community, in that neighborhood. You may be the only person in that whole region that has this pure, refined, genuine peace that surpasses all understanding. You're hurting. You're broke down. You're suffering. You're being laughed at, mocked, talked about. Maybe you got health issues, financial issues. And I'm talking about all of us when I say you. Collectively, we got our own fires that we're fighting on several different fronts, a lot of us. But you have a peace in spite of it all. And it's your divine responsibility to be discerning when it comes to how you share that peace. It means understanding that you may be the only person that has that peace. So when you show up with that peace, people are going to get pissed off, mad, irritated, agitated, but some are going to be motivated, inspired, encouraged. And you have to walk in that peace to show them that this is what real peace look like. It's not about being passive. It's not about being arrogant. It means staying calm in the midst of the storms. I got to get ready to get out of here, guys. It means staying calm in the midst of the storm. It means refusing to deny or run from the storm. And it means refusing to be consumed by the storm. It means conquering the storm by remaining calm in the storm. It's about knowing that that peace is devastating to the enemies. When God, this thing we call God or the universe, gets you to that point, you begin to understand that this is how I go from protecting and defending his kingdom to advancing his kingdom. Simply by maintaining peace. Because there's a lot of people out there that are going to come and attack you and me. That are going to come with the fakery, the chicanery, and all the things that they come with. And we have been sent there to perform what you could call an exorcism on those people. But we have to be able to maintain that peace to show them like, yeah, I will stand up for myself. Don't get it misunderstood. Oh yeah, I will walk away, rise above it, ignore it, be the bigger man, whatever you want to call it. Yes, this is that real peace. When you can stand in that, those onlookers that may have approached you or myself with that fakery, with that disingenuousness, with that spiritual or physical hostility, they began to say, okay, hold on a second. They begin to realize that they've made a horrible choice in terms of the path in which they are committed to. And it does something to them energetically to where they decide, you know what? I am willing to work hard. I want what that guy has. I want what that young lady or woman has. I want to be able to walk through with peace, a real peace that doesn't surrender to chaos and doesn't run away from it either. This is what it means to carry this real peace. It means knowing, again, that you have an enormous responsibility. It means knowing that you're going to face all kinds of trials, tribulations, all kinds of tests, all kinds of mistakes, all kinds of setbacks that are going to literally be testing your ability. It's going to be preparing you to where you finally, in His divine timing, get to this point to where you realize that peace is a weapon and you understand how to wield that weapon. But along the way, those mistakes, those hardships, those headaches, those setbacks, those failures, that betrayal that you have to endure, a lot of things trying to just make you bitter, chipping away at that peace. When you look out at the world, you can see this is what happened to the majority of people. Can't really blame them because we're spiritual beings having a human experience as well. So we understand about the hatred in society, the struggle to make ends meet, all the political upheaval. We get that. So we can't really knock them, but at the same time we can and at the same time we can see what has taken place with them. Their peace has been siphoned away. And some of them, dare I say most of them, ain't willing to put in the hard work to fight for that peace and to learn and grow to where they realize this is how we turn this thing around. This is how we let it all burn down and then rise from the ashes. By weaponizing good old-fashioned peace. Hey, if you cross the uncrossable line, you're going to know. Hey, I'll be the bigger man. I'll walk away. I'll ignore that. I'll pretend I didn't hear that. Whatever. But there's going to be some struggles, some challenges along the way. Things seeking to test your peace. And it's okay to go through seasons, situations, circumstances where your peace gets, kind of disturbed, or you don't respond in the appropriate way. That's fine. It's just training. It's training. That's what it is. I always say nobody ever got on a bicycle the very first time and then pedaled all through the neighborhood. It's a process. You have committed to embracing that process. The falls, the scraped knees, the swollen elbows from being on that bicycle, you've decided that it's worth it. And you've decided, just like when that person finally masters riding that bike, it becomes a tool. It ain't just fun. Yes, it's fun, but hey, I can go to the store on this bicycle. I could actually ride from one end of town to the next on this bicycle. This is what your peace is. It's a tool / a weapon. I got to get out of here, guys. I'm at 30 minutes. Let me get out of here. Hey, the services that are provided by this ministry to help you, to help anyone that you may know. The services consist of philosophical counseling and youth and young adult mentoring and counseling, age appropriately. That's for mental fitness. For spiritual fitness, there's age appropriate varieties of clean-hearted spiritual teachings and practices. And for physical fitness, that's age appropriately, obviously, as well. But there's certified fitness training when it comes to physical fitness. Merged, balanced, and synthesized. When you are operating at your absolute best, whatever that looks like. Not what society says, not what, maybe not even what you want. Maybe not even what I want. I played all the sports, and I would get into in the ring, and I would train hard and fight, and I would give it my all. I want to win, but I didn't always get the win. My dad, may peace and blessings be upon him, says if a man gives his absolute best, then what else is there? If a woman gives her absolute best, what else is there? So regardless of what your absolute best looks like in the eyes of society, on the scorecards or whatever, when you can look yourself in the mirror and say that you gave it your all, that's what we're talking about. That's what makes the difference. And that's what separates the greats from the not so greats. So reach out if I could be of assistance to you guys. If you'd like to schedule your initial consultation and evaluation in either or perhaps even all of those different compartmentalized areas of services, there is an email link down in the description box. If you got any value out of today's message, please show your love in whatever way the Holy Spirit moves you to do so. But I can tell you this, whatever good seed that you plant into this ministry, it means more. Literally, it means more than you know. So please show your love. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you aren't already subscribed, and turn on the bell icon for notifications. Leave me a comment as well, guys. Investigate and or actually utilize the services. If you don't utilize them, that's great, but investigate them so you can become familiar with it. There's an introductory video that talks about the services right here on this YouTube channel. And again, if you have any questions, send me an email, or best to send me an email if you have any questions about the services. You can also make a monetary donation in any amount, whether it's a one-time, buy me a cup of coffee type of deal, or if it's something more consistent, whatever the Holy Spirit moves you to do, whether it's a penny, a nickel, a dime, a quarter, whether it's one time or whatever the Holy Spirit has you to do, man, any good seed that you plant into this ministry, I right now supernaturally release that back to you, abundantly so. This ain't me, this is him. This is his laws, the universal laws that says God will not be mocked, and whatever one sows, they will reap that. So if we don't plant harvest, if we don't plant seeds, then we got no legitimate expectation to receive a harvest. We must plant seeds, guys. The enemy's out there planting all the time. We know that. So we got to get our planting. Like, share, subscribe. Any good seed you pour into this ministry, receive your harvest by faith. This is what I got for you guys. I love you all. I'm going to have to keep these messages down. The last 2 or 3 or 4 may have been over 30 minutes. But thank you for your time, your understanding, your patience, your love, your support, generosity. Reach out if I could be of service to you guys. And go out there and realize what peace really looks like. When you weaponize it, and a lot of that weaponizing that peace just means you showing up in genuine peace, no matter the struggle, no matter the hardship. You're not faking it. You're not being dismissive. You're not trying to overlook or pretend the storm doesn't exist. You're not docile. You're not arrogant. Peace. That's what you carry. And this is what drives, shoots an arrow right through the enemy's heart. This is what I got for you guys. Again, I love you all. Thanks for your generosity. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Yes, I am Brother Minister Mongoose, and yes, I will holla back. Peace.